So Tsvet, we broadcast the recording to our Patreon members. So it's kind of an exclusive option for them to be able to actually watch us record live. But we are primarily an audio podcast. Most of our listeners and consumers is all via the audio, because we'll edit this. Yeah, we'll cut this up and edit it and make the podcast. We usually release that Sunday. So, all right. So if you happen to be tuning in, whether you are live or whether you're watching the stream after the fact on YouTube, welcome. This is Stormfront Freaks Raw, episode 156. We call this Raw because it is the raw recording of our audio podcast. And so we typically make this available live to special Patreon members, and it's available to them exclusively for the first month that it's out there. And then usually after a month, we'll make it available to the public on our YouTube channel. You can just go to stormfrontfreaks.com. If you'd like to be a part of our Patreon group, you can grab information there. If you want to check out our YouTube channel, you can find that through stormfrontfreaks.com as well. But obviously the raw version means you're getting everything, right? We don't always know what we're going to say. You get sometimes some great questions that never make it to the audio podcast. You get, visually, you can see our hashtag weather fools and some of the silly stuff that we do visually. So it's kind of unique, but we kind of put that little disclaimer and warning on the front end. We won't give you cancer, but you might want to wear headphones or something like that. But
hey, Dina,
that's our disclaimer.
Did Phil just say sometimes we get some good questions?
I did. I was kind of referencing our Patreon members that do, but I didn't want to say that. So. All right.
Don't be surprised if there's a good question tonight.
You don't surprise me that much. You always come up with good stuff.
Yeah, Maz does have some good lines.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Brady, how you doing?
Brady.
Not too bad. Yeah, a little toothless right here, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's pretty fun. No.
Hockey?
Oh, you missed it, Dina,
wish.
2 weeks ago.
I wish. So, yeah.
What happened?
Well, I bit into a really hard French fry, but
You could have come up with a better story.
You know what? I know. Everyone's been telling me that. But what happened was 8 years ago, I got knocked out by a baseball. So that was really the root cause, and then everything kind of stemmed from that.
The root cause. Huh.
So how come you have not been to the dentist to fix that nonsense?
Oh, I have. Trust me. I've been their number one customer. So I've been about 10 times in the last couple of weeks because it eventually got infected, Dina. So they had to take it out. Then,
oh my God.
They can't put the implant in for like 6 months. So it's been a fun road. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'll be the toothless wonder on the storm chasing trip. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Good
You
time.
got your summer teeth.
Well, let's get you super drunk.
And then
exactly. We'll take all kinds of pictures.
Exactly. And I have a date Friday, so I don't know how I'm going to explain that. So
well, hopefully she likes you already.
Yeah, seriously.
Look past that.
Yep.
Is she a dental hygienist?
A good test. That's a good test for a lady.
Take some of the drugs you were on 2 weeks ago on the show, and
oh gosh,
she'd have a good time.
Yeah.
Don't roofie her.
I don't remember much of that. But.
MJ is saying Brady and Dina need a little more volume if you can.
What about now?
I got it right up to my mouth.
Okay. That's probably good. I just if you go to your settings and go to your audio, if you are wearing headphones, you can click off of echo cancellation.
Okay.
And you can click on stereo audio if you'd like, as long as you're wearing headphones.
Yep.
All right.
And then automatically adjust your mic volume. Is that set for you guys?
Test. Does that sound better? 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. MJ.
Brady's toothless wonder.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I just cranked mine way up. Is that better?
MJ says Brady is better.
Hello.
Lean into the. I'm looking on the private chat. You guys can probably see that too.
But
Dina, you could uncheck your automatically adjust your volume, uncheck it, and then do the slider and maybe turn it up just a little bit.
On audio?
Yeah, if you go to your settings, audio settings.
Crank it up, Dina.
I don't have a slider.
Settings, audio, and down at the very bottom it should say automatically adjust mic volume. Click off. Click it off.
Okay. Sorry.
And then you should have a slider.
Hello. Is that better?
Better. I don't know. And then Tsvet, tell us. So, how'd you meet where'd you meet your wife at Iowa City?
Yeah, we met at the University of Iowa.
University of Iowa. Okay, yes, and what was her major?
Her major was instructional design and technology, the same as me.
Okay. Oh, same thing. All right.
Both Hawkeye fans.
So, who helped who with their homework?
What was that look?
Well, how do I say this? The program was really tough. And so it was one of those places where the professors had done a really good job of merging theoretical work with also applied work. And so we would spend late nights into the computer lab finishing projects and trying to get things done. Late nights in the
lab.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll bring some wine.
No, it was very much like that. Like our professors knew when the deadlines were, and so a couple of them would show up at midnight with cookies and milk, and so we'd have a chat with them about the problems we've encountered that evening. So it was really, really nice.
All right, so Tsvet, Mark Massaro, he is going to introduce you. So can you repeat your name for him again, just so he gets the pronunciation?
Yes. So the very front, Maz, is like the sound in tsunami. And so instead of going with tsu, you just go with Tsvet.
Tsvet Ross-Lazarov.
Excellent. Yes.
Where are you from?
Originally Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. Yes.
Yes.
It's a client from Bulgaria. It's a beautiful place.
No way.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. We'll get rolling here. I am going to do the pre-opening. Does everyone have? I'm like hearing an echo. Everyone's got their headphones on, right?
Yeah.
I did just do my echo cancellation. Just uncheck that. So I don't know.
We should be good. So I'll do the quick little teaser opener, and then we will jump into our official opening. We'll do happy hour, find out what everybody's drinking. I've got a little a little thanks to Kim. A little video we'll play before we get to Tsvet. Okay.
Perfect.
I'm gonna get it. I'll get it. Yes. I'll get it. I won't, because I'm drinking Tsvet. So I'm gonna, by the end of the show, I'm just gonna totally butcher it. But
by the end of the show, you're gonna be so loud.
We're just gonna be
and so we're gonna do a little video for Kim, and then Maz, I will turn over to you to introduce Tsvet, and you can go ahead and start with questions. I certainly would recommend that sooner than later we get into asking, because we'll have a lot of listeners that aren't familiar with COMET, Met-Ed, aren't familiar with that, and so it's going to be let's not assume everybody knows that stuff. So it'll kind of be a gradual introduction into even what is it first. MJ?
Just so you know, when you play the Kim video, it's going to replace everybody with the video. Just so everybody else knows that. It's like we didn't lose you.
So we're going to play a video, and it's going to cut everybody out. So if you're talking, we won't hear you until the video's done.
Okay.
We've been expecting it.
So we can say whatever we want then.
You could. No one would hear.
Okay. And it's 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
Give or take.
Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead. We'll do the quick little teaser. Coming in, 3, 2. Hey, Storm Freaks, Phil here. Did you know that you've got thousands of hours worth of meteorology education for free at your fingertips? I'll tell you what, we've got Tsvet Ross-Lazarov of COMET's Met-Ed program. He's right here in our studio to talk about it. And we've also got our hashtag Weather Fools and wait until you hear what clip we found for Potty Mouth Forecast. Hey, it's all on episode 156 of the Stormfront Freaks podcast.
Lazarov, not Lazaro.
What did I say?
You said
Lazaro?
like Massaro. You said Lazaro.
Oh, you know what? Because I forgot the V on here. I'm going to redo that.
Lazarov.
Hold on. I'm looking at my...
No worries.
Pakal.
See, I told you I'd screw up here.
That's Russian. Wait, what?
Haven't
Well,
even had enough to
Bulgaria
drink
is
yet.
very close. So
Is
I'm
it?
guessing he speaks multiple.
So here's what I'm going to do, MJ. I'm just going to do the first part of that. Clip. Okay? Coming in. 3, 2. Hey, Storm Freaks. Phil here. Did you know that you've got thousands of hours worth of meteorology education for free right at your fingertips? We've got Tsvet Ross-Lazarov of COMET's MET-Ed program right here in the studio to talk about it. Okay. All right, rock and roll. You guys ready?
Meteorologist.
Meteorologist. Nice. Okay, here we go. Coming in. 3, 2. Hey, welcome to the most entertaining weather podcast. This is the award-winning Stormfront Freaks podcast. Hey, thanks to our Patreon members that help support the show, including those that are joining us live tonight in the stream or our VIPs that are in the green room. I just want you guys to know you can also join our team if you go to patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks, and you can also be live in the chat or on the show with our guests for every episode. Hey, it is happy hour. Every single Thursday night we record. I look forward to this because it's actually the time I get to drink. Because I don't. It's like you're like my drinking buddies. Because I really don't drink a lot other than this.
You were priming before we got.
Yeah, for real.
A little bit. So we're gonna go around and we find out which of our co-hosts are with us this evening. We also find out what they're drinking. Let you know we like to have a good time here on this weather podcast. So I'm gonna start up with Dina Knightley, our meteorologist and weather producer for the Weather Channel. Dina, what are you drinking?
Okay, so after a whole month of not drinking, I've got a nice glass of Merlot, and boy, does it taste good.
Uh-oh.
I gotta give a little cheers
off
because
the
I got all
wagon.
What
midnight.
vintage, Dina? What vintage?
It's just Merlot. It's like a year old. Who knows?
There you go. Well, that's great. That's the best kind of wine.
All right. Then we got Mark Massaro, our former on-camera meteorologist in Cincinnati. Maz, what do you got tonight?
So my wife pulled out some Malibu rum and orange juice, and I go, "What are you making?" So I was like, "Oh, I'm having that. It's pretty good tonight." So I was trying to think, is there a name for it? It's not a fuzzy navel because that's peach.
That's peach schnapps, isn't it?
Yeah, Sex on the Beach has peach schnapps.
Wow, your wife is also your bartender.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
That's a good deal.
Good for you.
I leave tips
All right.
occasionally.
And then Brady Harris, our atmospheric science graduate. Brady's not drugged up tonight, but he might be drinking. He's still toothless. What are you drinking tonight, Brady?
You know, I'm actually just having some iced tea because I still am on drugs, not the ones that make you loopy, but the antibiotics. So I'm not supposed to be mixing any alcohol.
Okay.
Those other
Iced
ones were
tea
the good
tonight.
ones.
You'd be
Yeah, I
more fun
know.
if you were, though.
I know. The ones I'm on, they're not the good ones. So
No
I'm just gonna
straws too, right?
Boring
no
old me
straws?
tonight. No, I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah, no straws. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no
you
straws.
don't know
yeah.
what that is.
But he's got a bib for when he's dripping.
Oh, God.
He's
yeah.
covered.
It's
So,
bad.
hey, I want to let our listeners know one of our co-hosts that has been with us since episode 20-something, Kim Cunningham, former on-camera meteorologist for the Weather Channel. Kim is moving on. She has, shared with us. She's got a big, literally moving on. She's moving houses for her family. They're buying a new house. And she's been very busy over the last few months as well. We really haven't had a chance to see her much. We get graced by her presence every so often. But Kim is moving on. So at least for the foreseeable future, Kim is no longer going to be with the Stormfront Freaks podcast. And we were very sad, obviously, to hear that news. But we all had a great time with Kim on the show. And in honor of Kim, we couldn't not cover the fact that, one of the sweet things about Kim was the fact that here's the thing, right? Since COVID, everybody knows how to do the Zoom calls. Everybody now knows how to do the virtual calls and share their screen, and all that kind of stuff. Well, pre-COVID, it was still kind of a somewhat rare thing. It's not like everybody was using Google Hangouts or StreamYard or Zoom or whatever it might. Not a lot of people were really using it at that point. And so one of the sweet things about Kim was it always seemed like she would struggle to figure out how to share her screen when we would record, and it was just always a fun thing that we had with Kim, and we'd tease her about. But I couldn't let this night go without recognizing one of the greatest and most hilarious moments, I would say, even on the show in general.
Yeah.
But this is going back to like episode, I think 32.
It was
or 33. This is going way back. But Kim, it was a night, Dina, very similar tonight. Kim was on the show with a bunch of guys. And we were covering our WX resources, right? Talking about some great weather resources to share with our listeners. And the part I'm not going to share with you was obviously her initially trying to share her screen, which kind of set it up because we were like trying to walk her through on what to do and click this. And she finally was able to share her screen. Then the challenge became trying to unshare her screen.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that's when the fun ensued. That's when we started seeing, everything on her screen. It was Halloween time, and we're seeing skeletons and
We're seeing
all this
everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
So in honor of Kim, I'm going to have MJ play this video. MJ, roll it.
This book is called Supercell, and it's fiction. So, but it's what's interesting is that if you read some of these, and if any of you are familiar with the Weather Channel, you might be able to tell there's some characters in there that are similar to some of the people at the Weather Channel, which is cool too. So Supercell about a tornado, Eyewall, of course, about a hurricane. Look at this. It was a #1 bestseller on Kindle. And I know he's got another one. Oops, sorry.
Whoa. Got cold feet.
Wow. Hey, Kim, is there a character in one of the books that's still trying to figure out screen sharing?
Yes. No, I did hear rumors that there is a character that might be me.
That drinks a lot of IPA beer.
Athletes know.
Okay.
So that was buzzbernard.com.
Wow, where are you now, Kim? My goodness.
Google.
It's like, holy cow. Okay. Well, he's gone. No, I'm not falling into this.
Where'd she go? Oh my God. Guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but she can't see.
You look a little thin.
What are you seeing? What are you? I can't figure this out. Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, is it gone?
Yes, it's gone.
Oh God, those skeletons are gone.
I told you I love Halloween.
I know. It's like, oh my God, Halloween.
I'm a little early, but it's all right. Anyway, I can't find.
Oh my God, I gotta
Hangouts now.
You're good. You're good. You're back.
That is classic.
Good old Kim.
Oh,
I love it.
how funny that is.
It just every time you look at like her talking, it looks like the skeletons are talking, and you're just freaking out.
Oh man, we're gonna miss her.
So Kim, we will miss you. Wish you the best of luck. Thanks for the good times and the memories.
Special guest in the future, right, Kim?
100%.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Halloween.
Over Halloween, yeah, that would be good. All right, Maz, let's get to our esteemed guest this evening.
All right. Oh yeah, thanks for doing that right beforehand. All right. Hey, Tsvet Ross-Lazarov is the lead instructional designer at the COMET program. Now, an instructional designer for 2 decades, he's designed interactive e-learning, online courses, and in-person instructional events. Now, the MET-ED or MET-ED website, COMET's signature offering, is a free collection of hundreds of training resources intended for the geoscience community. It delivers over 240,000 hours. That's right, 240,000 hours of online education each year in disciplines such as aviation weather, climate, convection weather or convective weather, emergency management, hydrology, numerical modeling, satellite meteorology, and winter weather, among many, many others. So, Tsvet, welcome to the show. I guess first, what exactly is COMET, and why the heck do I even need to go to college anymore to get a degree?
Thank you for having me, Maz. It's wonderful to be here with everyone. You have such a wonderful, friendly spirit together. I really am enjoying this already. Yes, so the COMET program is started as a meteorological education program for professional development for forecasters within the National Weather Service. And then since then, we have grown and have provided all of those resources that were originally available to the National Weather Service meteorological community to the rest of the world. And so we have many clients at this point, from the National Weather Service to National Weather Services in Canada and Australia and other places around the world. And so we work with them in order to create training courses for their particular issues and how to approach situations and so on. And then all of them really love to make that available to everyone in the world. As all of you know, weather does not stop at the border, it just rolls on. And so all of our sponsors are really happy to provide that information to everyone. And yeah, I hear you. It's a really good place for you to get a lot of that information and sometimes hands-on skills with some of the products that you may encounter in a forecast office if you ever wanted
free.
to go and work there.
You said it's free,
Yes,
right?
It is free, absolutely. Yes.
That's amazing. I got on, I made an account, logged in, took me 5 minutes, and I started searching through 240,000 things that you can, and it's nice. It's got a nice search, so you can type in like hodograph and learn something about a hodograph, or maybe you want to learn more about surge forecasting. And I'm like, I found it all. This is so cool. I can't believe I haven't gotten on here before. But I mean, I'm amazed that it's not free. Like, are you paying for this all with sponsors or?
Right. So we are a nonprofit. And so our sponsors come to us and say, all right, we would like to develop a online module or a course for this specific topic. And then we work with them in order to create the materials and work with their experts in order to make sure that the science is accurate. And then our instructional designers come in and then they try to make it very interactive so that you don't have to be stuck reading a PowerPoint slide for an hour or so.
It's always good. It's always
good.
Yeah, it's always
and
good.
So, and then after that, the sponsors are really happy to open that to the rest of the world. They really would like to share that information with anyone who is interested.
You said we. I mean, is it like Tsvet and Bob, or like who's the we in this here?
Right. So we have, let's see, almost 30 staff at this point. And so some of our instructional designers, we have a small team of about 3 or 4, and then we have 12 scientists who are working with the experts in whichever organization has come to us to prepare that particular training event for them. So it's always a multidisciplinary team that is bringing their strengths together in order to try and create a really wonderful instructional experience for people.
Yeah, and I guess the question I have too is who, like, I guess would anyone from a forecaster at the National Weather Service to someone who knows nothing about weather, right? Are the trainings kind of everywhere, and do they cover both ends of the spectrum, right? Or kind of who are they mainly geared towards? I guess with the amount of trainings, they're probably geared towards a lot of people, right?
Right. Yes, you're correct. We try to cover the entire spectrum. So if people are just getting started with learning about meteorology or are very interested in weather, they can go into the METED website and go to the Education and Training tab. And there they can just type in MET 101, and then they will see the courses that are available for them as Introduction to the Atmosphere, Introduction to Oceans, and a few other introductory topics. And then we go all the way to the other end, where we have scientists and meteorologists and forecasters who have worked for 20 or more years in their profession. And then they can find either modules or courses that they can take from the METED website and then continue their professional development. As you know, there's always something new in meteorology. There's always new research, new tools. And so it requires that folks working at forecast offices and pretty much everywhere else that's concerned with weather to be on their toes and continuously learn and figure things out as the new technology is arriving or new research strategy has just been figured out.
So if I start in 101, how old will I be when I finish?
Well, let's see. We have over 1,000 individual lessons online at this point. And so I don't expect that it will take you 1,000 hours to finish them, but you can go to the website, and from a pull-down menu, we have the ability to filter whatever topic you're interested in. So if you're interested in convective weather, you could just select that, and then you will see everything that is available there.
Nice.
And then you can quickly take a look at the level for that particular lesson. And so they go from level 1, I think, through 5. And so level 1 is usually introductory level information, and then level 3 to 4 and 5. They're for professionals who've been working in the field for a while.
I did notice when I logged in that you can take these courses and share them with an employer. So maybe you get a little, I know for where I work, if I take any kind of learning, I can take credit for that. Because I know with IBM owning the weather.com, any kind of e-learning, we have to get like 40 hours a year. So I can actually save that. And I can't believe it's free. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You're correct. So that is one of the ways that we enable people to show the professional development courses that they have taken. So they can log in and they can enter the URL of their the email of their supervisor. And then every time they complete a lesson, the supervisor will get an email that lets them know that that person has successfully completed this. And so there are some organizations that require their staff to go through our lessons online on specific topics, especially when they're doing their seasonal training. And there are other places that we've heard that consider it a big feather in the cap of an applicant if they can show certificates from completing METED courses.
Yeah.
That's
So
fantastic.
you sure don't want to be like for profit? Because if IBM gets involved in here, I'll start charging something.
Well, we are doing our best to keep it free for everyone.
That's great.
And is there any like certifications to, like, say you complete this 7 series thing where you have all the all these different trainings and you get through? Is there any like sort of certification that says, hey, like I completed maybe there's like there might not be a storm chaser one, but maybe there's like a forecasting series or something like that? Is there any sort of certifications that go along with that too?
Yes, and in fact there is a storm chaser course.
Oh, no way. That's
that
cool.
We have created.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
For storm chasers, how to be safe when they're out chasing storms. Awesome. So we've created a bunch of scenarios in which they have to make decisions. All right, you have this type of storm heading your way. Here is what you see in front of you in terms of shelter. And you need to pick out which is the sturdiest one, and then how quickly you need to get in, how far inside the building, and so on. So, and we organize these into courses. So when you go to the course area, the education and training area, you can search for whatever topic you're interested in, and then the first tab will be individual lessons, and the second tab will be courses. And so you can tap on the courses tab and you will see everything that is available for that topic. And then when you enter a specific course, you will see 4 or 5 of those in there. And when you complete the assessment successfully, you get a certificate that says that person has successfully finished all of the storm chasing course, for example. Or if you're interested in tropical weather, you can work through our storm surge forecasting. And then we have one on forecasting tropical hazards like winds. And so you can, whatever you're interested in, you can go in and do the work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart, like you said, right? Because, I mean, for employers to be able to see, hey, I've got this certification at this reputable place, I think that's a huge plus for people to actually go out and do it ultimately. And I think it helps, spread knowledge throughout the industry. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Tsvet, with there being 240,000 on there, what topic is not on there? It's probably easier to ask that question. Like, what are you like, we're hoping to put on,
Hashtag weather pools.
Oh, gosh.
Tornadoes with real sharks in them. I mean, what's missing?
Yeah, let's not go into Sharknadoes. The scary territory there.
Interesting. That'll be my second segment question, I guess.
We're trying really hard to cover everything because a lot of our clients would like their forecasters or professionals to continue learning. Essentially, every topic that they have in front of them that they would like people to increase their skills with, we cover it. And so, yeah, I actually can't think of anything meteorological related that's not on there.
Yet you guys keep coming up with new stuff because I keep getting emails of new things that you're adding all the time. But I'll tell you this, everything new that I keep seeing is way above my pay grade at this point. But I will ask you this, Tsvet, is this, any of this stuff, is it accredited that can be used, count as credits towards any degree? Or Brady was talking a little bit about certification of any sort. Does any school actually consider this or use this?
We don't have an agreement with any schools yet.
Okay.
For that specific purpose. I think the AMS organization has an agreement with us. So if people complete certain courses from the Metaverse website, they get certification for that completion through AMS. But yeah, we have not, we don't have any meteorological programs that are currently working with us on offering certifications.
Okay. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to scare anybody and make it think like these courses or these online classes are things that take, as you talked about, it's not going to take someone a semester, right, to get through in some of these courses. Now, I've been through a handful, but a lot of them are entry level, low key, where I'm buffing up on my forecasting skills and stuff like that. So can you tell us, like, is there an average of how long it takes someone to get through one of these courses on average?
Be nice, because Phil's like nervous already asking that question.
So the average is about 45 to 55 minutes. But we have people on both extremes. We have people that are coming in for something really specific, and they find it, they figure it out, and then they leave. So those people tend to spend anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes inside any given lesson. And then we have people who are probably on the job, working forecasts or doing something else, and they leave it in the background and they kind of come and go back and forth as they have time. And so that pushes up about 5 hours. And so we really don't think that it takes them truly 5 hours to go through it.
Oh, does it count the time that they're logged into that?
Yeah, it just counts the time that they have begun and the time that they have finished, and then it calculates what happened in between. But we really don't know what's happening in between.
Because you've had to learn
you
a
might
lot.
not
You
want
went
to know
school.
what's happening.
Yeah. You've gone to school as a designer, correct?
Yes.
So you've had to learn a lot of meteorology over the years doing these.
Absolutely. I am a weather weenie. And so I just love learning new things about meteorology. This is one of the best aspects of my job, really. It's like every month I get to learn something new.
Do you have a favorite thing you've done so far that stands out?
Yeah, we recently did a simulation/game on how to communicate the impacts of an extratropical transition. And that was a really challenging but very important lesson to get right, because as you all know, when a tropical cyclone begins that extratropical transition, there are so many points where people can get confused and say, oh, it's now an extratropical, it's no longer the full tropical storm. And so we've really worked hard with our clients and experts to figure out how to help people focus on the impacts and the fact that the impacts are going to remain similar. The storm, even though it's going through an extratropical transition, is not going to lose a lot of its punch. And so we created this simulation where we grabbed a track from Hurricane Michael and we plotted it over the US. And then we put in 7 decision points, all the way from when it was down in the Caribbean, all the way through it leaving the eastern seaboard. And we asked people to essentially play this game in which they have the chance to go back in time and then make better decisions and see how the news coverage for that event will change based on their decisions. And so it's really engaging experience for them to go in and then try to change. All right, so maybe we should focus the communication on this piece. Maybe we should focus it on the other. Oh, now we need to get the communication to be consistent from office to office. And so our learners are trying to make these choices in order to figure out what is the optimal best practice. And so we kind of give them that possibility to go back in time and change the outcome.
That is so cool.
That is
I
cool.
love that. And I know we're going to have more questions about, we have to take a break here in just a second. I just have one more question. I love the way you say meteorology. Can you say it one more time for us?
Meteorology.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
That was your question. You had to get in before break.
That's right.
Wow.
I heard him say it and I'm like, meteorology. I'm like, that's so.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody. We're talking about all these great weather resources, and it reminds me to make sure I bring up and talk about my Atmosphere Weather app. It's amazing what I can see on this one screen. Atmosphere Weather. What's unique about their difference is it shows the weather forecast around a 24-hour clock, and it's on one screen, so I can see the hourly temp. I can see sky cover. It shows me precipitation probability and intensity. Right in the middle of the circle, it shows me live radar, so I can see what's coming, what it looks like. And I can see all that stuff without having to swipe or push anything, which is so cool, right? One screen, boom, I get everything I got hourly. If you haven't tested this daily weather app, I don't know what you're waiting for, but you've never seen anything like it. You can find Atmosphere Weather in your Apple or Google store, or just visit atmosphereweather.com for the official weather app of the Stormfront Freaks podcast. So I need to get a refill. I don't know about you guys, so it's time for a quick refill break. The Tornado Trackers share another episode of Tracker Chat, and we'll be right back with more from Tsvet.
Good stuff, Tsvet.
Cool.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Glad.
All right, I do need to actually refill. I'll be right back.
I'm going to get excited because I could probably log these on my train. Like, we have a thing at IBM because they own us that's called Think 40. So you have to have 40 hours of some kind of training all year. And sometimes it's like, oh, for the love of God, 40 hours,
Yes.
And a lot of it can be like cybersecurity. We do stuff, but these, I'm like, I can use these.
Absolutely.
And I would actually enjoy it.
Yes. No, it is. That is why we've set it up that way. So you could just enter the email of your supervisor, and then they will start receiving your completion
He's going to be like, what are you doing? I'm like, 25 years, but I can still learn stuff.
Oh, I hear you.
I
I'm
still
58.
learn stuff every day. I really do, honestly.
I'm 58, and I would love to think 40. It's possible.
Think 40. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome back, Phil.
We're gonna wait for Brady to come back and get his tooth.
All right. So Tsvet, sorry. I told you I'm going to butcher it. I'm going to keep trying, though. So one of our viewers says, I can't find the Chaser course, the Chaser safety course.
Yes.
Do you remember what it's called?
It's called the Skywarn Spotter.
Okay. Skywarn Spotter.
The spotter course. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yes.
You're kind of like a walking, I don't know, librarian for your entire study. You know where everything is.
Well, I've been here for a long time. And like I said, I'm really passionate about the work that we do. So I try to keep track of everything we're publishing and just making sure that we're providing this really engaging experience for our learners.
That's so great.
Let you guys know, Curtis has been practicing his blue steel pose.
And is it any good?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
We'll have to... we will have to find out, I guess.
Better be just like the movie.
Yeah, I see that Skywarn right here because I got the page open. Spotter, convective basics.
Yep. And then the other one is the role of the Skywarn Spotter.
Yeah. Community risk.
So you are very similar to, because when you said storm chaser safety, right? That made me go, oh, so you're using that verbiage because the National Weather Service does not like to use that verbiage, right? They don't want to encourage chasers.
Yes.
They encourage spotters. Stay where you're at and watch the weather from where you're at. So
exactly.
So this is you're using the same verbiage, right? Spotter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. It is the Skywarn Spotter. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Don't want to tick them off. Don't want to tick off the National Weather Service.
Right. You got to be, because here's one thing, and we've got a guest coming up in a few weeks to actually talk about this, but I've always been passionate. I've just never been able to get it off the ground anywhere of talking about chaser safety, right? And having some kind of chaser training, chaser certification, something that can all be done online, but as a checklist, kind of a chaser safety checklist of things like attend or get on Met-Ed and take a Skywarn spotter course. Driver, looking up some kind of driver safety, even though you might have a driver's license, maybe we take it a step further and you watch some kind of driver safety class.
Sure.
Get your American Red Cross first aid and CPR training, right? Because you're going to come across disasters and things like that. So kind of coming up with a checklist to say, do this for your chaser safety certification.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. And so I've always been in the back of my mind as I hear of things or go through things and go, hey, that could be a piece to the checklist, right? Do this. And of course, Met-Ed has always been one in the back of my mind to go, hey, there's some great stuff on there. Just trying to identify what would be the best ones to include in this checklist. But so when you said storm chaser safety, I'm like, ooh, really? What is this new? I don't remember seeing that. So
yeah. Well, that's a fantastic idea.
Either that or you have them do progressive and they have to all do the safe driver thing. So they always tracks how fast they go and
that you have to plug that thing into your car now.
Yep. Either that or you do that.
There's no way I'd touch that.
Hey, Phil, now that Tsvet has this idea, that's a great idea. Now you can't charge for it anymore. Like
that's true. I wasn't going to charge for it anyway, but
it's free.
Hey. Rising tides raises all ships, right?
Yeah.
True.
Is that a saying? I have never heard that before.
It
ever.
is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've never heard that?
No. I've heard red in the morning, sailors take warning. That's about as similar
No,
as
this one means like when you raise other people, it helps raise you too.
Right. Okay.
Like, if I talk
everybody,
about
everybody,
you,
everybody wins.
everybody wins. Yeah.
It's like a win-win-win.
Raise the stock price, and we all win. Right?
Okay.
There you go. All right. So here's what we'll do. I will come back. I'll introduce Tsvet back to the show, and I will start with a question. We'll do a few more questions, maybe 10 minutes worth of questions, and then that will be our sound time for lightning round. Hey, and before I do that, I'm gonna hint. We're gonna play a game where Dina, Maz, and Brady, I need you guys to have something to write on. Do you have something?
Yeah.
That you can write on?
Yes.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I need to get something to write on too?
No, you will not have to write, but our co-host will.
You can't play because you don't charge.
Okay. That's right. Yes.
God, when did we become so cutthroat? We're all about profit all of a sudden. Where'd that come
Not
from?
everybody.
Hey, we got a chaser trip to pay for, man. Come
That's
on.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, Brady, you set?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Coming back. 3, 2. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We've got Tsvet here in the studio with us from COMET, Met and great website. I've always wanted to kind of ask if, especially over COVID, during the pandemic, did you guys see an uptick in your usage and number of downloads or number of classes taken?
Absolutely. It went through the roof.
It did. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Usually it has a very steady rhythm. We see a lot of increase around exam time, so midterms, finals. We get a lot of students coming in trying to get ready for their exams, and then you have the seasonal training. So you see the various spikes there, and then pandemic happened and our usage went straight up, and it has remained pretty steady since then. So it's
Fabulous.
It's been really encouraging. Yeah.
Do you guys have specific courses that are like your top views? Like you said you could tell how long somebody's on something.
Right.
So you get the stats.
The Skywarn Spotter course that we mentioned earlier, that is one of them that gets regularly high usage. Another one is how to interpret the skew-T diagram.
I was wondering, like I looked up Hodograph to see if you had Hodograph, and I was going to do skew-T and check it all.
Yep, that's another one. And then another course that gets a lot of usage is a course for firefighters who will be working on wildland fires. And so they're required to take it's a course with 14 separate lessons inside. And so in order for them to be certified or approved to be on the fire line, they have to work through that course. And that is the one that gets a lot of usage. And
That's
it introduces them to all the basics of the atmosphere. Because as you know, weather, especially fire weather, is a really, really important element of fighting any fires.
So when did you start this? What year was it?
That specific course started about 2009.
How about the whole Met-Ed?
Oh, the whole Met-Ed program. Oof.
Yeah.
Let's see, we're 25 years old at this point. So late
Wow.
90s, yes.
Wow.
So you just pretty much got the internet up and
Yeah.
Exactly. So
started it.
many of our first courses were on laser discs. I don't know if you
Oh my
remember
gosh.
those.
Oh,
but
yeah.
That's what we used to publish them on. And then the web came along, and then we made that transition to internet, and we've continued to work there since.
So with 25 years under your belt, what's your dream for the future for all of this? Is there something you're like, we don't have the tech yet for what I'm thinking? Or, where do you want to see it go?
Oh boy, how many hours do I have?
Yeah.
64 seconds.
All right, 64 seconds. All right, the trends that we would like to engage with is to bring in a lot more learning science into all of our e-learning offerings. There's a lot of good research that has happened over the past 20 years or so, and we've been implementing it slowly into most of our recent offerings. But there's a lot of new research that we can tap and make those experiences like that simulation that I mentioned. You're walking into the situation and you have to come up with a solution, and you're challenged by it and you're working through. You can request help if you wanted to, or if you don't want to, you can brute force your way through it. And so these are the kinds of engaging experiences that we want to create. So that's one thing. The other aspect that we are looking forward to is augmented reality and virtual reality.
Metaverse, right?
It's kind of, we want to bring it into the real world. We want to help people to see the meteorological processes as they're happening around them. Like, imagine the possibility of putting on some augmented reality goggles, looking up.
That's cool.
And then seeing the direction of the wind, the strength of the wind, and how things are shifting as a front is passing. I mean, that's the kind of thing that we would really love to do.
Like a tornado's coming at you, and where do you go? Look around.
Yeah, I tell you what, you want to get more.
Cool.
Yeah, you want to get more kids interested in meteorology. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Oh, that's
right? 'Cause
it.
they're all, that's what they want for their birthdays, right? Is all the Oculus, all that stuff. It's just it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like we'd really love to bring those invisible processes to the forefront and then show people that it happens in 3 dimensions. It's not just a flat graph that you see on an image or an NWP output. It's really working in 3 dimensions in real time.
There's got to be an infinite number of scenarios that you could come up with then.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Well, what's like the craziest one, like, or what's like the most audacious? Like, are you trying to do? Hey, well, we want to put people in like the middle of a tornado, or
Sharknado.
Sharknado. Exactly. That could be a setting. That could be a level you could do, right?
Do you want to add sharks? Check.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, one of the most audacious things that we can do is to actually hook up people around the world into a virtual space where they can practice forecasting the weather. They can exchange ideas with each other. They could walk into a weather event and look up and down and go, oh, so this is how the eye wall replacement cycle of a tropical cyclone works.
Yeah.
So they could really experience it. And then being able to actually do something with it. Like, it's fine if you can see it. It's amazing and it really engages you originally. But if you're able to then play with variables and say, all right, so what would happen if I change the pressure? Or what would happen if I change the direction? And then you see in front of you as that particular, whatever phenomena is, how it changes and how the characteristics would change. Like, what would it take to shut off a thunderstorm, for example?
Yeah.
So you can play with all the variables that go into creating a powerful thunderstorm. And so that the learners would really try to solve the puzzle of how Mother Nature puts these amazing weather events together.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's like Tony Stark level stuff. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Well, hey, everybody, that is the sound. It's time for our lightning round. So, Tsvet, this is our game show of flashy and brilliant questions that we always get to play with our guests. Tonight, we're bringing back a fun one. We do this one every once in a while, but we're going to play a little match game. So if you're familiar with match game, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a sentence. Okay. And there's going to be a blank in the sentence. And everybody's going to think of your goal is to try and match as many of our freak co-hosts as possible. So Dina and Maz and
Good
Brady,
luck.
they're all going to think of a word to put into the blank, and you're trying to think, how can you match the same thing that they're thinking? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, you're familiar with the game, then. Yes. I take it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's hard because we don't even know what we're thinking.
I don't.
It's true.
I don't actually think things. Things just happen. So
this is always fun. Yeah, trying to figure out what these guys are thinking. All right. So here we go. We're gonna start with the first question. Freaks and Tsvet. Here we go. So during the television news broadcast tonight, the co-anchors broke out in laughter when the meteorologist forgot her blank. All right, so during the television news broadcast tonight, the co-anchors broke out in laughter when the meteorologist forgot her blank. So the co-hosts, you guys write down the answer that you want to think of. Tsvet, I want you using your ESP to figure out what they're thinking. All right, co-host, you good?
Good.
Brady, you good? All right.
Sure.
So here we go. So here it is again. So during the television news broadcast tonight, the co-anchors broke out in laughter when the meteorologist forgot her blank. So Tsvet, what did she forget?
I'd go with a microphone.
She forgot her microphone. All right. So I'm going to go to the co-hosts. Co-hosts, you guys will have to hold up when I ask you. Hold up what you wrote down. Dina, I'm going to start with you. What did the meteorologist forget?
Yeah, he got it. And I also put when she went into the bathroom.
Oh,
yes.
That's always the good
extra.
one.
Wow.
Very good. So nice match. All right, Brady, what did she forget?
Yeah, so I did straw hat. So, yeah, that was probably not going to be a winner.
Yeah.
Straw hat.
So close. So close. Maz, help
Brady,
us out here.
Are we wanting Tsvet to win?
Wait, how do we get points? So I need him to match me to get points?
Yeah.
Microphone. Very good.
Oh, okay. I'm going to change my strategies.
You got two matches. Good job. Good job. All right, here's the last one.
This is the last one?
Yeah, we're just doing two.
Oh.
Okay.
What the?
So, yeah, we're just doing two. All right, so here we go. Ricky was so happy he was able to drive out of the tornado alive that he blanked his fellow storm chaser when they got out of the car.
That's a suspect blank right there. My goodness.
Yeah, so Ricky was so happy he was able to drive out of the tornado alive that he blanked his fellow storm chaser when they got out of the car. All right, so freaks, write down your answer. Brady, you can draw it. That's fine.
Oh,
you can draw a picture if that's. Brady's kind of playing Pictionary along with his match game.
Oh God, this is a bad picture.
All right, freaks, you ready?
Ready.
Brady, you good?
Yeah. Just
right.
Just do Brady last. It's like ordering at a restaurant. Just let him go last.
Just I gotta give a fair warning for my drawing.
All right, so Ricky was so happy he was able to drive out of the tornado alive that he blanked his fellow storm chaser when they got out of the car. Tsvet, what did he do to his fellow storm chaser?
I'm gonna go with hug. I would be so happy to get out of a tornado.
He hugged his fellow storm chaser. All right, so Maz, I'm going to start with you. What did he do to his fellow storm chaser?
You know, I was gonna say hugged. I said kissed, but I should have.
Wow.
I was going to ask you, is it the opposite sex storm chaser? But
Bulgarians are big huggers. I totally forgot.
Hey, Dina, you drive out a tornado. It probably doesn't matter. Like if you get out of a tornado alive, it doesn't matter the gender.
Bring it in.
You're bringing it on, right? So Dina, Dina, what was your answer?
Hugged. Yep.
Wow. Very good.
Tsvet, we're on the same page.
Yes.
Very good. All right, Brady, I don't know if you had a chance to do your drawing or if we'll even be able to see what it is. But
I did. It's a chest bump. So it's I feel like that's a storm chaser thing to do, right? Like, give me a chest bump.
That's good. That's
good.
Okay.
Nice.
No, I did not take
art. Not bad. So Tsvet, great job. You and Dina were definitely on the same wavelength.
Yes.
That's good.
So good job. So do us a favor. So first off, remind people where they can go to find the MetEd training, and then let people know how they can follow you on social media.
All right, so the quickest way to get to MetEd is to just type in www.meted.ucar.edu, and then that will take you to the website. And I actually am not on social media. Since I work in the e-learning space, I know what happens on the back end of the social media world, and I'm not interested in participating. But anyone can find me on the MetEd website. We have our email there. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, it's tlazarov@ucar.edu.
Very good. You're
not missing much. You're not
getting
missing
any
much.
dog pictures or whatever.
Oh, gosh.
As we like to
Not
go,
a whole lot of value on social media.
sucking vortex of social media.
Well, I'll tell you what. We were talking a little bit about this, Tsvet, but our team, we are gearing up for our Stormfront Freaks Storm Chase in a few weeks. And at helicity.co/SFF, they've got a huge selection of creative weather and storm chasing themed t-shirts, gear, and merchandise, including Stormfront Freaks shirts and beverage containers. So what you do is you go to the exclusive site, helicity.co/SFF. And when you go to that site, everything you put in your cart, you're going to earn 5% off. So 5% off your entire order, whether it's Stormfront Freak stuff and other stuff, right? So while you're there, don't forget, click on the Brands tab, and that's where you're going to find all your Stormfront Freaks favorites. That's at helicity.co/SFF. So, hey, it's time for our final break, but we've got absolutely a lot more to come, including #WeatherFools and our new potty mouth forecast. So stay tuned.
Way to go, Mr. Lazaro.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tsvet.
That was awesome.
Thank you. So hey, I know we're kind of going a little bit late here, but do you want to stick around for the last couple segments, maybe 15 minutes or so?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
Do that.
So here's how it works. So you are now a co-host. So instead of being the guest and having to answer questions, you could be a co-host and crack funny jokes and quip and ask dumb questions like we all do, right?
No, I'm a professional novice.
Very good.
Every time I'm learning new things. So I'm always the one asking the questions. I'm surrounded by these experts around me who've done this for 20, 30 years. And I go, wait a minute, how did you get to this forecast from here? I don't know. And so then I kind of act as a little bump in the road so that they have to pause and explain, oh, yeah, you need to pay attention to this and then that and then that. And then you can make this conclusion about this.
Little chest bump in the road, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, so here's what we are going to do. So we've got 2 segments we're going to do. First one will be #WeatherFools. Brady, can you step in on that and introduce #WeatherFools?
Sounds good.
Tonight. I have one, and I'm going to share my screen here in a second.
I have one.
Okay.
I have one.
Well, don't look at me.
Yeah, don't ever
Classic.
Look at Exactly.
Look, I'm looking at Maz.
Phil, have we ever done potty mouth forecasts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Potty-
We've done this.
We have?
We've done
Okay.
this multiple times. Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember.
So potty mouth forecast. So here's what we'll do. So Brady, you've got that, and then when you're done with your last person, you can see them all on episode 156. Show notes.
156. Great.
156 at stormfrontfreaks.com. And again, I'll introduce you to the Who.
Classic. Still don't
And then
know
when
that.
you're done with that, Dina, I'm going to play this. And then once the drums start, that's when you can come in.
It's a good song.
Like now, right? So I will introduce you to that. And so potty mouth forecasts, we're scoping out the dark web on these ones. And these are for like discarded clips of our weather friends going off the deep end and probably saying words they shouldn't be saying on air. And so they got discarded or whatever, and we were able to dig them out and find them. And then I'll introduce what
been a
this
couple
clip
I've
actually
seen
is.
on Twitter.
And then after that, so I'll play that clip, and then I will close us out.
I missed the hammered forecast. Everybody was hammered.
Yeah, that's wasted weather.
Wasted
Wasted
weather.
weather.
Wasted
yeah.
weather. We
That's
pull
funny.
that one in
I like
sometimes
that
too.
one. Yep.
Wow.
Been a while.
Well, we have that movie thing in like a couple of weeks. Why don't we all just get wasted for that? Actually. We'll have some good clips there.
So I'll play ones for Tsvet so he can know what wasted weather is. This is Al Roker. Are you familiar with Al Roker,
yes.
right?
Yeah. The countdown to Thanksgiving is officially on, so let's kick off the holiday season with the one, the only Al Roker. Al, so much to talk about today. I see by that smile on your face, you're probably going to be eating. Tell us what's going on in the Today Show Plaza.
Hey, Chris. So it's we're back. You know, we're bringing back our Chef-a-Palooza. It's 21 chefs for 2021. Some of the best chefs in America.
So we all it is you're basically slowing them down so they sound a little intoxicated.
Yes. Got it.
Some of them are hysterical.
Most of them are great. I mean,
I noticed you called Tsvet co-host instead of a freak like us. So I was like, "You're an official freak." No,
I'm game for freak.
This is Maz's favorite here.
Tonight, clear and mild.
Gary England.
Then we're going to have warm nights and hot days. Is that a surprise?
That's a good
I've
one.
done about 30,000 of these shows. And I asked Susan Gear, how many ways can you say hot? Anybody got any ideas?
Anyways, you can say hot. Oh, my God.
Okay.
All right. Let's get this party started.
All right. So, and then I'll close this out. All right. Everybody good? Are we, MJ, we got everybody. I need to share my screen.
Ooh.
Share screen. Window. Chrome tab. Boom.
Do you like my earbuds?
We believe in you, Phil.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, what are those?
It's the old ones we used to jog. They wouldn't come. They actually wrap around your ear.
Oh,
wow.
I thought they were
like looking for something. I don't know where. Somebody's
Walkman headphones or something.
Yes.
You need the big ones from the 80s.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, everybody. So Brady coming in 3, 2.
Who is that? That's the Who. Who am I? I'm Brady Harris. What is this? This is Weather Fools. Welcome back, guys. It's time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast. We're us as the weather freaks. We're going on the internet. We're going to the dark web, as Phil likes to say. We're going on Twitter. We're going on YouTube. We are trying to find people that did something not so smart, and it deals with the weather. Phil, I understand. Wait, no, Phil does not have a weather fool.
Yeah.
Maz. Or no,
Yeah,
Phil, you do have a weather fool. Sorry about that.
Like
Phil, who is your weather
15
fool?
weather
this week?
fools all the
You
time.
got to slow down. You're going too
You're
fast.
right. I'm going everywhere. Let's
You're
go.
forgetting stuff. All right, so this was credit to our, again, Major League Baseball, one of the worst leagues when it comes to weather safety. This is a video from Twitter. In Camden Yards, so this is in Baltimore against New York.
It is. You can see it on the field.
They're still out on the field when there's hail coming down.
Just going to stand in the box.
Oh my
And so
God.
they waited to call the game until it literally started hailing. Then they're like, okay, maybe we should get people off the field now, right?
Oh my gosh.
Like, we know, Tsvet, you know, right? Yeah, and then they send the grounds. Like, the grounds guys are the ones that are always...
Look at that. Yeah, those
that's
is
just
amazing.
pea-size. It's just pea-size.
It's just pea-size.
Wow.
It
Yeah,
won't
if there's
kill
hail,
anybody.
there's going to be light. I mean, if there's hail, there's going to be lightning, guys. Like, come on, that's not just a run-of-the-mill
Not
thunderstorm.
like nobody
come
had
on.
radar on their phone.
They're
Oh
picking up
my
static.
God.
Picking up static on that
So
roll.
Major League Baseball still has a major problem
It is. You can see it on the field.
with with weather and safety.
Yeah, like who are they using? I mean, I like their guy has got to just be, I don't know. It's got to be some Yahoo.
Well, you have to remember, see what happens with Major League Baseball, and this happens with a lot of sports. It's just that the officials or the umpires in a lot of other sports, they know what the rules are. Like they know, hey, when lightning's within a certain distance, the game's going to be called. But in Major League Baseball, the umpires are still the final say in whether or not to call the game. So a lot of them will have meteorologists. Some, I shouldn't say a lot. Some of the teams have meteorologists that work for the team, and some just work with one of the local news people. But all they can do is recommend, and it's still the umpire to say, "Yeah, we're going to keep playing, or we're going to finish the inning." Or...
He was drunk and he didn't care. He was staying out there.
Wow. Well, that was pretty great, Phil. Maz, let's go over to you. Oh my gosh, I'm like losing it tonight. Dina,
Maz never
who is
has
your
a
weatherful?
weather.
Yeah,
Maz
Maz
never
has.
has
I'm losing it.
All
Dina,
right,
who's your
this
weatherful?
one's great, and it trended. So you might have seen this. So this was a tweet that said the moon is in the North Pole, where the day lasts 24 hours and the moon appears in only 30 seconds completely and blocks the sun for 5 seconds and then disappears. It's a breathtaking view. Now, this got retweeted 69,000 times. And look at this.
Oh,
Come
my
on
God.
now. And you can even see. Tsvet could know. Look at the blur at the bottom of the ground. And I mean, this looks like Star Wars on Tatooine.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it just disappears like it was never there. It's
Blocks
ridiculous.
out the sun.
And then they even talked today. I said this was trending. So a computer generated animation of a large moon has been miscaptioned, and fact checkers reported it. So it was over and over again. Like really.
Wow.
That's what you're doing. So anyway, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Many people retweeted it. Like, did you not watch it?
People just believe what they want, man. I bet you half the people are like, you know what? I just want the moon to be that big.
Brady,
Like, come on.
Brady, if it's on the internet, it's true.
Exactly. You know what? If it's on the internet, it must be true.
I did read somewhere on that I think that was originally posted like a year ago.
Oh,
and so
really?
this guy was just reposting it, and it did the same thing like a year ago, like it trended and all kinds. And there were comments of people going, "Why is it the fake crap that gets viral?" It's the fake and the not real, and then that's the stuff that's just widespread and everybody has seen it and heard it, and then everybody believes it, right?
Wasn't it Churchill who said a lie gets halfway around the planet before the truth ever gets its pants on?
Yeah. And they had only just invented social media back then, too, So, yeah.
Winston Churchill.
Listen to Mass.
Wow, look at the historian.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that was pretty great. Also, Dina, as well. And I think I'm the only one with the Weatherful left. So my Weatherful this week is actually from the Weather Channel. I don't know if some of you guys saw this. They tweeted out, experts believe it's about time Uranus was properly explored. And that was from the Weather Channel official account. I was dying. I was like, I had to look twice. I'm like, is that from the Weather Channel? I was like afraid to click on the link. So I'm like, where is this going to take me? And I was like, oh man. So, the first comment was, wait, they want to probe the inner moons of Uranus? How would that even work? I mean, it's just setting themselves up. So I thought that was
Dina,
pretty funny.
who did you give these people crap? Who put that up there?
Wow.
No, I just laughed.
Oh, it's pretty great.
I just laughed.
It was
I
pretty
was
good.
like, whatever.
So I thought that was pretty funny. I got a pretty good laugh out of that. But cool. Yeah, so those were our Weather Fools for this week. If you want to check those out and more, head to our website, stormfrontfreaks.com. Look for show 156 under the show notes.
I kind of like this song, but I have to introduce Potty Mouth Forecasts. Now, this is a part of the show where we kind of scope out the dark web and find people who've been kind of naughty, got caught with their microphone on, maybe. They were maybe in a bad mood, were acting out, and we kind of caught some of their audio and recorded it, and it was kind of saved so that we can kind of make fun of it because they were swearing and doing things they shouldn't be doing.
Ooh. Yeah,
and Phil, you've got that recording, right?
So the bad words have automatically been edited already out of this, but we found this clip. This was from a Fox station, local regional station, I think in Arizona, and the meteorologist ends up getting punked on air because as an April Fool's joke. So it's April 1st, and he unexpectedly kind of gets punked with some crazy graphics, so as he's going through the graphics, he starts seeing, temperatures in the thousands, and he starts, just crazy stuff, and he kind of goes off a little bit. So take a listen.
At Window Rock, Flagstaff at 47, mid-40s in Page, and 70s all along the Colorado River now. Okay. Okay. Who's been at work? I think it's Fluellen. I think Fluellen is involved. Oh, an Easter scorcher. Oh, man.
Wow. Is this April 1st? Is there something that somebody got in and messed with your computer, Corey?
I have no idea who is responsible for this Easter disaster. Oh, you know who? I think one of our top executives, Neil Wolf, could be responsible for this.
That minus 10,000 day on Tuesday.
I don't know,
could be
but
a real
that's
problem.
tube top weather.
Tube top?
Yeah.
Celeste, you will look for any reason to put on that tube top, I swear.
I'll be wearing it when it's that 1 degree or 0 degrees. I'll be wearing it when it says 0 degrees.
Oh.
I think Fluellen, she's got some weather experience. She's got traffic experience as well, Troy. Are you aware of this?
Well, the funny
sending
thing
her to
I was
traffic.
just talking to her over here, and she's paying so close attention to the weather. I'm thinking, what's happening? Is she like really into the weather this weekend? She was waiting for it, Corey.
I realize
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a tornado on Saturday.
I don't know.
Hurricane on Friday?
During the show, I'm not that attentive to the Weather Center at all times. I don't know who was getting into this mess.
Yeah.
But I'm not responsible for any of these numbers.
I think Celeste, didn't you build all that, Celeste? Or, potentially it could be somebody like you.
Anyway, he didn't seem overly happy about the April Fool's joke.
No, he was pretty bad. That was a lot of funny. You could extrapolate that. That's probably a lot of, maybe F-bombs.
I think he was making fun of her tube top, too. But if you want to hear that again,
her
you can just check out
tube
stormfrontfreaks.com, episode 156 show.
Well, we're not. We can't post that.
No, it's beeped. It's beeped.
We'll post that on the dark web. We'll post it on the dark
podcast. It's on. You just listen. It's on the pod. You just listen to it. You don't have to go to the website to find it.
I'm going to darkweb.com and I'll post it. Don't worry.
All right. Anyway, I think that just about does it for this episode of Stormfront Freaks podcast. So thanks for listening or watching. But before I announce our next guest, if you like the show, don't forget to follow the Stormfront Freaks podcast so you get notified and you receive the latest episodes of our show delivered right to your podcast player the moment they get released. You can find all the podcast player options at stormfrontfreaks.com. And please do us a favor. Tell or share with a friend that loves storms. Let them know all about us. That's how we get the best publicity. Also, visit stormfrontfreaks.com to find out our Patreon link. And you can check out all the ways we can do more with you. And we can also have an opportunity for you to be able to help the show, whether it's live access to view and chat during these raw video recordings, exclusive Stormfront Freaks merchandise. You can even join us and our guests in the green room. So just visit patreon.com/StormfrontFreaks and you can join the team. And also big thanks again to all of our Patreon team that supports the show. And again, reminder, you can subscribe to our YouTube page. And this is where you can watch all the previous versions of our recordings of Stormfront Freaks Raw, which is completely unedited, uncensored, crazy. You can hear all the great conversations during breaks. You get the great questions from our VIPs for our guests, and who knows what else is going to get beeped or edited out of the audio podcast. You get all that stuff raw on the video, so you can subscribe to it on youtube.com/StormfrontFreaks. Special thanks to our guest tonight, Tsvet Ross-Lazarov. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tsvet.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
It was wonderful having you.
Placebo.
Lot of great news, a lot of great stuff.
That's
Not placebo. Placebo.
Like a fake pill?
Placebo.
I speak Russian. Placebo.
All right, and let's go around and find out how freaks, how can people follow you? Dean, I'll start with you.
You can follow me more on Twitter at LadyPilot70.
Nice. All right, Brady.
You can follow me on TikTok at Columbus Weather with Brady, and then you can also follow me on Instagram, same tag.
All right, Mass, how about you?
I'm taking Tsvet's advice. You can't find me anymore.
Yeah, you should just ditch it. Right, just ditch that Twitter.
Just in case, it's on Money Storm 4, the number 4 U.
Letter U.
At Money Storm 4 U. Sorry.
Very good. You can find me on Twitter at PhilStormPod, and of course right here at Stormfront Freak, without the S, because there weren't enough letters. So hey, our next episode, we're back in 2 weeks. We're recording May 12th with Storm Chaser and Law Enforcement Officer Eric Fox to talk about Storm Chaser safety, like we were discussing earlier. Patreon members, you can join our raw recording live, and the edited audio podcast will be available to everyone else the following Sunday. So for Tsvet and Dina and Brady and Maz, I'm going to signal the all clear. We'll catch you guys next time. So good night.
Bye, everyone.
Night.
Awesome.
Peace.
Svet was rocking. You were like during
You
that.
were.
I was like, do I turn sideways? Turn sideways. You do have a pony.
Were you standing up the whole time too? Like I was like, man, he's got some dexterity.
No, that was just the
Oh,
camera
okay.
angle here.
Okay.
He's sitting down. It's actually 7'9". So
Yeah, you do look pretty tall. You do look pretty tall.
Yeah. I think
How tall
6'1",
are
I
you?
think. 6'1", I think.
Oh, okay.
okay.
That's fair.
yeah.
All right, guys.
good.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I literally got to get up in 4 hours.
Oh,
All right.
Bed.
Wimp.
Dina.
I know.
Have a drink. Good night.
We love you, Dina.
See you, Dina. So Tsvet, I will we'll basically edit this and it will be posted on the podcast players. So we're on like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of them. So Google Play or whatever Google is. I don't